Hey guys, welcome to the Parrott Bros. Today we're going to be doing a video on a piece of literature that I believe all Audi owners should have. If you can get it for a non-Audi, brilliant. But this is specific to the TT because this is the one I have. And no, it's not a Haynes manual. We'll just throw that out. We don't need that anymore. And let's jump into the intro. Okay, so you know we're not talking about Haynes manuals now. What is it every Audi TT owner should have? I hear you say breakdown cover. No, but probably is worth having. What you should have is a Bentley Manual. Now, just to give you an idea about how big this thing is, that is pretty big. Let me grab that Haynes Manual I just launched across the room. Okay, so this is your normal Haynes Manual. What we got? Probably 200, 250 pages, something like that. And it's alright, it gives you a brief description of certain things, it gives you some torque settings, and it gives you a little bit of a run through of how to do certain things. And it'll get you out of trouble most of the time, it's alright, but let me just pop this on top of this Bentley Manual, just to give you an idea of the kind of information that you're going to be getting. So we'll say, what's that, a fifth? So the Bentley Manual is probably 5 times thicker than the Haynes Manual. And this thing is an absolute Bible for car related stuff, and it tells you absolutely everything you could ever need to know. Now, I only bought this about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I saw it come up on eBay and I absolutely jumped on it. Now, to buy one new, they're just under £100, which sounds like a lot of money, but when I show you what's in here, you'll understand why it's worth the money. And the good thing is, if you do decide to sell the car, this will always be worth £60 or £70. I mean, if you can get one second hand when they do come up, which is rare, they do come up, but you'll struggle to find one second hand. This one was second hand. It's got a few witness marks where people have been using it, but that's fine by me. All the pages are still good, and there's still plenty of great information in there. But yeah, if you can get one second hand, £60 to £70. New they're about 96 when I looked on eBay today. I'll put a link down in the description if you want to get yourself one. But basically, this covers absolutely everything you could possibly want to know for working on a TT, and the detail it goes into is phenomenal. I mean, it does basic things like it tells you product familiarization, and this is suitable for the 1.8s all models, the 3.2, keeping you included. You like that? And it covers everything. It tells you how many bolts you need, what bolts you need, what torque settings they are. I mean, I've literally just tabbed 4 things just because I'm doing stuff, and it's the questions I get asked the most. And to be honest, me having this will help the amount of questions I get about things. Like, for instance, this is here, you can see there's the front subframe, and it actually tells you on the bolts, so the 4 subframe bolts, it actually says here, always replace. So you know that they are a stretch bolt, they always require replacing. If it doesn't say replace, then you know you can reuse it. It gives you the torque settings in Newton meters. It tells you Newton meters, quarter turns. It tells you what they are, the name of things, the orientation of things. If we go on to rear suspension, it gives you a full diagram of how to do it for 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. You can go on to, it has obviously the diff assembly, and it has absolutely everything. I mean, even onto wheels. It gives you the different types of wheel bolts, the offset of the wheel, how to measure camber. It is just absolutely brilliant. I mean, even on brakes, it gives you brake servicing. It tells you what size discs you need. So if you're trying to get some bargains, where's the disc size? Here we go. This one here. There. So you're looking at, say, doing your own discs and pads. This book will tell you how to do it. It'll also tell you what size you need. So you can jump on eBay, you can jump on AutoDoc, any worldwide parts supplier, and you can get cheaper discs because you know you need, let's say you got a 1.8, 180 2-wheel drive, you need, what we got here, on the rear, non-ventilated, 232mm by 9mm thick. There you go. So you know that is what you need. Easy as pie. And this book, honestly, I mean, I've not had this, and I've been winging it somewhat for the last however many years, 15 years. But to be honest, if I'd have known this thing existed prior to that, I would have bought one. Yes, it is an investment, but I mean, I've got a Haynes manual, and I'll be honest, I've opened it maybe once, and it was pretty much garbage. So, from the perspective, it's all right. It's all right. But then when you've got something like this is like, well, the Bentley compared to the Vauxhall. Not slating Vauxhalls, obviously. But yeah, this thing literally, I can't explain to you how important this thing is. I mean, even if you're trying to familiarise yourself with the car, if you're new to Audis, there you go. It gives you a list of what every single switch button does. It goes through alarms. It tells you where things are. I did find a page which I didn't tab earlier, which is annoying. But I mean, it even shows you how to remove roadster parts. It tells you how to remove front and rear bumpers. If anything, I'm doing the Parrott bros out of some videos here, but unless every single one of my subscribers goes and buys one of these, I'll probably be alright. But yeah, it goes through absolutely everything. I mean, I've sat just flicking through this, just loving life. Because for a car guy, I mean, it even has relay locations, which, if you know your cars, they are a pain in the butt. It tells you which one is which. It tells you clutches. It tells you, it's just literally everything. I mean, engine. Oh, this one is a fantastic one. So, this is a basic full rundown of everything in your engine bay. Now that, I know for a fact. There you go, look, all the numbers. That tells you everything in the engine bay. And I know for a fact, I've had that question quite a few times. What is what? And that is just handy as heck. I mean, there's, how many are there? 31 items it describes in there. And it's just... You can tell I'm getting excited about this. It even has wiring diagrams. So if you've got a problem with something and you want to have a quick look what fuse it should have, where it goes to... I mean, there is literally 100 pages of wiring diagrams. And it even tells you, say you want to look at central lock-in, you want to look at gearbox issues. This will do codes. Let's see if we can find engine codes, because this is a question I get asked on a daily basis. Engine management. I will come back to you in a second once I've found the codes. Okay, so OBD. Now there's a whole section specifically for how to read it, and there is literally pages of code numbers of, if you plug in a code reader, what you're going to be getting, what it relates to, and then, you know, like we've discussed in previous videos, you can go over to the Rostec website, type in the code, and it will actually tell you what to look for based on the code you've given. It gives you some ideas of what the problems could be and also things to check. The other thing, there is literally just pages of fault codes. The other thing that this does do is it also shows sensors. So if you've got, I've lost the page now, but basically if you've got like a N75 valve or something like that, and you've got an issue with it, and you want to check the sensor with a multimeter, it actually shows you how to... I did have it a minute ago. It shows you how to measure the sensor and what reading you should get with a multimeter. Now, if you have a car and you don't have a multimeter, I would get one, because it's ideal for checking electrical components. It's ideal for testing fuses and things like that. It's just a handy thing to have. You can buy cheap ones off eBay. You can buy cheap ones from your local parts places and stuff like that, Amazon. Maybe I'll put a link down to a cheapy one below, just to give people an idea of what you're looking for. And basically it gives you, I can't actually find the bit now, but it gives you places where you can test, how to test the resistance of the said sensor. So if you know you've got a dodgy sensor, it'll actually give you the readings of what it should be, and then if it's outside of that parameter, then you know just by reading your manual that you've got a dodgy sensor. Now, can you live without this? Yeah, of course you can. You could watch the Parrott Bros, you could watch BWSTT, you could Google, you could jump on the forum, all well and good, but sometimes old school, it's just nice to have, you're going to do a job, have a quick look through. Maybe it will say to you, you need to replace these bolts, and you think, I didn't know that. That's lucky, because I could have reused them and cross-threaded them and then opened up a whole new can of worms. Or you just fancy new bolts because you're trying to sort of make it better for next time you come to do the job. Or if it's like mine, looks like it's been dipped in salt. And the 17 is now a 15 because it's corroded away. And it's just nice sometimes to have a little flick through, or whilst you're doing a job, just to have this next to you, so you don't have to, If you don't have access to auto data like most mechanics, this will give you all your torque settings. You know your torque settings. If you're not familiar with how something comes away, like trim, it tells you how to remove trim, which is an absolute godsend. That I will show you, because that I get asked all the time, how to remove this trim, that trim, and a lot of the time, a lot of them are already broken. So 70. So if you buy one of these, section 70 will probably be your friend for quite a long time. And this shows absolutely everything trim related. So this shows you how to remove rear view mirror, door cards, cup holders. It shows you how to remove that annoying trim that has the ABS light in front of the airbag light in front of the handbrake. It shows you what we got here. How to remove the cubby, the center console, the stereo, the climate control, literally everything. When I was looking through this, I think it even tells you how to remove the headlining. Dash vents, dashboard, interior lights, kick panels, literally everything. It tells you how to remove the whole rear of a convertible. I mean, the teardown on this is phenomenal. Door handles, boot trims. This is this is one I get asked all the time, is that rear compartment trim. It shows you where the clips are as well, which is handy. Let me show you up there. So it shows you how to remove this trim. That's the one that obviously goes round your boot and onto the tailgate. On here, look, it shows you what the clips are, and it also shows you the locations. Obviously, you can't see very well on there, but it literally shows you everything. It shows you how to remove the cubby underneath the steering wheel. It shows you how to remove steering wheel seats. Basically everything. Anything you could possibly need to do to your car, apart from modifying it, but again, it will show you how to take it out, is in that book. And that is, for me, on any car person who's fancies a bit of DIY, maybe just wants to sort of have a confirmation of how to do things prior to doing them, this is an absolute no-brainer. Like I said, if you can get one second-hand, 60, 70 pounds, new, 96 pounds at the moment. Where are we? February 2021. And I mean, it's probably 20 quid just in postage, because it probably weighs about 10 or 15 kilos. And it is an absolute thing to have. I can't say enough good about it. I mean, just going back to the comparisons, that Haynes Manual versus Bentley Manual. They both have the same information. One just has 10 times more. And it's all good information. The Haynes Manual I will be giving away probably next month, but because it's no use to me now, I've got the Bentley Manual. But I would recommend anyone who's a DIY, if you're going to keep the car, and even if you want to sell it in the future, you buy it, you can always sell it on again. Someone will always buy it. It is worth having. Now, you can get an online version if you search the internet hard enough. I won't put any descriptions down in the details, just because I would recommend getting the book. But if you search the Tinternet hard enough, you will find an electronic one. I have got an electronic copy, but it's just not the same. It's all in different segments. You have to try and flick through. It's an absolute nightmare. You can't beat a good book. Sit and have a bit of reading. If you're a bloke, you've got 15 or 20 minutes a day sat down reading time. So make that good use of that. Just don't trip over it, because it's heavy and it'll hurt your foot. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching that, guys. That was just... I literally got this and I thought, I've got to do a video on this, because people will absolutely love this. Once you've got this, honestly, you will be so happy, because it just saves breaking things and missing things, and you know what? If I haven't done a job before, sometimes I like to have a little look and just see what it is, because no one's perfect. No one knows how to do everything, and it's always nice to have a bit of a heads up prior to starting. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching that, guys. It's another video from the Parrott Bros. Bye for now.